What's up?
D, what's up, man? How are
Nothing
you?
much. How you been? I'm good.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I was just listening to Cal. Cal
Yeah,
Boone, man. Boy,
he's
he
the
can
best.
go, Kenny. He just keeps going.
Unbelievable. How you been?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
What's
Same old.
what's the word down in Melbourne? What you been doing during
Uh,
COVID?
right now, nothing, because we can't get in the gyms. All the gyms are all the gyms are locked. So I get out. Me and my son go for a jog and a run here and there.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. You know.
Which association do you work at?
Knox, the Knox
No.
Raiders. Yeah. So just doing juniors
Yeah.
out there. I coached the seniors for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Not coaching this year.
Yeah.
But doing, boys coordinator with the juniors. They give me a little, they give me freedom to do a fair bit over there. I do a morning program Monday through Thursday. I get individuals every day, so it's
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
What's been keeping you occupied at home?
TV, man. I'm just sitting. I'm watching the Lakers Detroit game from I think 2004, and that's it.
2000. Yeah.
2004
Hey,
game 5.
how old are your kids now?
They all grown, man.
Not the youngest.
I got 7 grandkids, man. So my youngest is 20. Is Darryl, the one that played with the United for a year.
Wow.
So and he's 20. He just turned 25. Is it 25? No, 26. He just turned 26 in February.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, it goes fast. Time flies, man.
Originally from Harlem.
Harlem, New York, man. Born and raised.
What street?
146th Street and 7th Avenue. Born and raised.
146 and 7th. Okay.
From day one. Grew up there.
PS what?
I went to PS 200, which was on 150th and 7th. So I went there with the IS 10, which is right next to PS 200.
Yep.
So and then high school. Actually, high school is an interesting one. I went to Charles Evans Hughes, but I didn't go to Charles Evans Hughes. You know what I mean?
Wait, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, no, I'll give it to you. So I actually dropped out. So I dropped out of school in 9th grade. Right, a lot of people don't know that. And
I never knew this. I've known you for 26 years. What?
Yeah. No, I dropped out in the 9th, just doing, just being a knucklehead. You get up, I go to the school and check in, but then there was like a little game room not far from the school. I used to go hang out there, go to the park. It's funny though, because there used to be a court. They used to have a low rim. So I used to play hooky and go play on the low rim, just work on dunks and stuff like that. And, play, but hooping, like I was always hooping. And then, got to the summer league. Not the summer league, but got to the summer, and you playing in all these summer tournaments, and that's I just playing, man. And then this guy saw me playing in it was called Chick, like it was a chicks tournament, and I was playing, and I was playing against all these college guys. I wasn't in school yet, but I had just got my diploma, so I just got my GED, so I took the GED test, and
But were you doing any studying? How'd you pass the GED without?
It was all stuff you learn. It was based like it's a multiple choice thing. So it's all the stuff you learn. I actually went to a school. I went to a school to study for the test, and it's just basic. It's really was just basic stuff, and I end up passing that. But playing wise, I was playing in this like summer league. Well, not even summer league, and this guy saw me playing. But I was playing against guys.
So you never played high school basketball?
Never played high school ball. No. I played in the
How did I know you all this time? I never heard this.
Never played. Like, look, when I say, okay, let's say high school ball, I'm going to say legitimate high school basketball.
Yeah. You never played for a high school? You never played JV or varsity?
No. Never played in legitimate high school basketball. But still got the opportunity. Like I said, I played in the league, and this guy saw me playing named Lincoln. With Lincoln Sessoms, and he said, are you in school? And I was like, no. He said, you want to go back to school? And I'm like, sure. So that's how I ended up in junior college. I went to Westchester Community College, 2 years. My second year I made All-American, And, you know, interesting story, I played in an all-star game against Ricky Grace. This is funny. I've known Ricky for a long time. This is funny. So we played an all-star game against each other.
Yeah.
And then I signed at Texas A&M. I signed in the early signing period. Yeah. So I signed in November to go to Texas A&M. And this
you were
was
like, hell yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. I took it straight away. So, and then, you know, ended up playing Ricky, then, you know, went to Texas A&M for 2 years. I actually played against, where was it, my second year, we played against Oklahoma. Yeah. But Ricky was injured, so I didn't get a chance to play with him. But I played against Mookie Blaylock, Stacey King. The year they went to the final and lost to Kansas, I played against that group. Yeah. You know what I mean? I actually had a pretty good game, but we lost by like 20, so. Yeah. But then 2 years ago, you know, I get the opportunity to try out with the New Jersey Nets come. And I wasn't good enough, man, to be honest. I struggled with that. And
so what year is this, Darryl?
This would have been 90. I finished college in 88.
Yeah, we're the same age. Yeah, that's right. So, 88.
So I finished in 88. But when I didn't make the Nets, I didn't get another opportunity to play nowhere. So I had to work. So I had to get a job. So I had to work at I was working at Toys R Us. I had my 3 boys. I had 3 kids at the time. So I had my 3 boys at the time. So I was working at Toys R Us, man, and it was a perfect job for the time, because I actually ended up getting that job around Christmas, and it was a perfect job at the time. And
which Toys R Us?
It's in Jersey. It's one in Jersey on Route 4, and I used to me and my friend of mine named Eric. His cousin had a van. We used to drive there. Or he had his own car, but we used to use his cousin's van, and we used to drive to work every day in Jersey every night. We used to drive to work.
That's kind of a haul from upside.
But it's actually not. That's the difference, though. It's not that far.
Really?
So yeah, it was a 25 minute drive, because it's right over the George. Yeah, it's right over the George Washington Bridge, because I don't live that far from there. So I'm 5 minutes. I grew up 5 minutes from Yankee Stadium. So I used to go walk to Yankee Stadium. Yeah. I used to go walk to Yankee Stadium in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's actually not that far. So George, you just get on the Harlem River Drive, and that takes you straight to the George Washington Bridge, and we there in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? So, and then working.
So how long did you work at Toys R Us?
What
was your department?
Just stacking boxes. I was stacking boxes because we worked at night. So I was working at.
So you were like a warehouse cat.
Yeah. So I was doing the night shift. We was all doing the night shift. You know what I mean? And. But, you know, get up, go there, then going back home in the morning, then back to work at night. So I did that for about a month, and then I ended up. So my brother, I got 7 brothers, and one of my brothers was in the Navy, one was in the Army. They actually lived in Connecticut, so I actually ended up moving to Connecticut with them, and I moved there in say February, and it's funny though, because I was hooping every day. Because I used to work on a Navy base. So I used to work on the Army. I used to work in the officers club on the Navy base. But after work, I go straight to the gym. My brother Andre come get me, take me straight to the gym. I'll be in the gym for about 2 hours every day. I don't think I missed a day for this is no bullshit, D, for about 4 or 5 months, man. I don't think I missed a day in the gym just hooping.
And just hooping and hoping, right?
That's it. That's hooping and hoping. And then I get a call to try out for this it was 6'4" and under league.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I played in the 6'4" and under league. I got a call to try out in that league, but I actually didn't make it. But I went home, and no sooner than I was home for about 4 weeks. I was home for about a month. They actually called me back, so I ended up going back, and I played. I kind of finished the season with them. It's funny because the day I left. Excuse me. The day I left, my daughter.
What's funny is that you're over 6'4". I don't know how you got in the league for real.
But it was actually 6. It was more about 6'7", because there was a lot of guys. There was a lot of guys in the league taller than me. Okay. There was a lot of guys taller than me in that league. But the day I left, my daughter was born. My daughter Denisha, God rest her soul, she was born. Yeah. And I left on the day she was born. And then I went I had met them. I met them in Boston. And then just, finished the season. The team was from Vegas though, so we actually played in Vegas. So I lived in Vegas for that summer, and then I started getting opportunities. So the CBA, I got an opportunity to play in the CBA, and played in Oklahoma City. Before Oklahoma City was an NBA club, they had a CBA team.
Yep.
So I played.
You know what's funny though? You know what's funny though? Now when I think about like all this recovery bullshit and all this stuff about you can't play this many games. Yo, I used to ball like every day for 6 months, sometimes twice a day when I didn't have a job. Before I got picked up in Brisbane and I was in between an NBA, I got dumped by an NBA team. And I was just hooping and hoping, like you said. I was never like, it didn't affect me. I was able to play a long ass time.
You hoop.
This bullshit now.
It is, man. It is. Because you hoop. If you want to hoop, you got to go out there and hoop. And that's what it was. Like, I wanted to play. I love playing. You know what I mean? But then again, that opportunity came. It was something I had to take. And then I did the CBA. I did the CBA for years. And I did CBA for about 4 years. I got cut. CBA then brought back. Then I got traded. So I ended up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I played there for 3 years. And then I got an opportunity to come out here. Brett Brown.
Did Brett bring you, or did Dave Atkins hook you up? Also?
No. Brett called me because
how did Brett know you?
He actually used to watch. It's funny because he wasn't even watching me. He was watching somebody on my team. So he was watching somebody. I don't know if you know Cedric Hunter. Yeah. Cedric Hunter played at Kansas. He was watching him, and me and Ced played on the same team. But when I came in the game, I just changed the game when I came in. That's all it was. And so he ended up, he called and he was like, I'm straight, you want to come out? This is a certain amount of money. And my agent, I had an agent at the time, and I didn't care. I didn't care how much money I just wanted to get out of the CBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I knew, and again, that's when I used Ricky. I used Ricky again. I knew Ricky Grace was down there. Yep. You know what I mean? And I knew they took point guard. So yeah, I was like, yo, I'm going, man. So I ended up coming to Australia, and that was it.
And the North Melbourne Giants, Brett Brown's the head coach, 1994. Now, in the preseason, Darryl, do you remember that 3-on-3 tournament?
3-on-3 tournament. Yes, I do. I do remember it. Was it in Perth or Hobart? It was in Perth.
It was in Perth.
It was in Perth. Yeah, I do remember that. We actually won it.
I signed. That was my re-entry into the league in '94 with Newcastle.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I remember going out there, and I'm like, everybody's like, yo, here's this dude from New York, Darryl McDonald. So I went and watched you play. I was checking everybody out to see what I've been out there for a few years. So I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, he looks pretty tall. He's a lot taller than me. I was like, nah. I was like, all right, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. Because you were new, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't that
It was actually a great tournament.
I wasn't that worried about you, honestly. And then when we played y'all in the regular season,
I was
like, oh, hell.
It's funny because my first game was against Ricky.
Yeah.
He had like a triple-double on me. Like, he had a triple-double. And I was like, it's funny because people was going, you sure this is the guy y'all want to keep here? Like, he can't do this, he can't do that. And then my next game, I think we played Townsville. You wasn't there. I think you was at Newcastle at the time.
I was at
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Played Townsville. And I finished with like 19 and 17. And then the game after that, it might have been the game we played Joe, and I had like 11 steals or something like that.
Oh yeah, you picked my pocket one time. You got around me with your long ass.
around. I used to get around
like,
the back.
I played like shit too. I played like shit that game.
Actually, it wasn't. I remember that. It actually wasn't your better game, but you still was cooking though. You was cooking the league anyway. As a year went, you still cooked the league. You actually, we both finished. I finished top. I actually did. It's because you missed the game. I finished top in assists, but you was averaging about 30 a game. So I wasn't scoring like you was.
Yeah,
but
it's look, and the thing was, man, we played. There was me, you, Ricky, Shane, Adonis Jordan. There was
every week. Every week was a tough matchup. Andre LaFleur, Butch Hayes. Hayes. Who else was there? It was so many. Brett Maher, Phil Smythe.
Brett Maher,
Brent, Damian Keough. And then you're going up again, Leonard, because Leonard was always the one that's guarding. Copes was always the one that's guarding us. And Andrew Gaze. It was tough. Like, every week was tough, man. Like, you went for a tough matchup every week. That's where it was. That's what made the league tough.
And it was interesting, right? Because it was so hard to get the better of you. So when I'm playing against you, it's so hard to get the better of you. And it's like you couldn't even really enjoy it because like, yeah, I got D tonight. But then the odds of you getting that guy twice in a row are not high.
It was gonna be hard. Yeah, it was always hard. It was always hard. And the thing with us, you see what we played zone the whole time. Like I played, we was in that zone. I sat at the top of that zone. And we just slowed the game down.
Remember how you used to run that trap though, where you pick?
Oh yeah, at half court. Yeah, we used to get people at half court. And back then, that's what I'm saying. That way, Brett was a genius because nobody was doing it. Like we was the only one doing that. You know what I mean? And now people do it religiously. People trap like that, but we was doing that in '94. You know what I mean? And as soon as you get over, we coming to get you, and you couldn't swing the ball. That's how we was beating teams. You know what I mean? And we was just getting out and going, getting out and running. It was fun. It was fun to play like that.
So, are you amazed at Brett Brown's?
No. He was pretty passionate. Loves the game, and you know what I mean. When he left, I didn't know where he was going when he left Australia, but I knew he went to he was going back to the NBA. But the opportunity to be an NBA head coach, I didn't know if that was going to happen, but I couldn't be more happy for him. Like I said, he changed my life. Every time I see him, I tell him that. He changed my life, gave me an opportunity to live in Australia. I've been here for 26 years now. I heard you saying you've been here for 30. You know what I mean? It's been 26 for me. But just his rise and what he's doing, you know what I mean? And it's funny though, because I watch a lot of American shows, and and I get a bit heated. How Brett Brown's job is in jeopardy because of this and because of that and because of this. Just lead a guy, let him coach, man. You know what I mean? I understand they lost to Toronto last year on a buzzer beater that hit the rim 4 times. What you want him to do? You know what I mean? Give him a break. You know what I mean? That's the NBA. I know you got to make moves. Everybody got to make moves, but you got to give him a break, man.
I know. I got a close friend who was an NFL head coach, and he used to catch heat all the time. All
the time, yeah. It's crazy, man. Just let the guy let him coach, man.
But that 94 for you guys, you win the title with North Melbourne. That's a special year. Y'all got a nice squad.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
So the roster was you,
Rod Johnson, Mark Leader, Larry Sinstock, Pat Reedy, Paul Reeves, John Stelter, Matt Shanahan. Who else we had? Who else was on that team? I might be missing 1 or 2 guys, but we had Paul Maley. Paul Maley. We had a solid group. I was the only one that they brought in. That team was already set because they played the year before, and they got rid of, I can't remember his name, the import. He was like 6'9", so they got rid of him. He went to Canberra, and then they brought me in, and we ended up winning the championship. So it was special. Yeah, that was special. My first year in, it was special.
It was a dope year when they're still showing highlights of your passes. That's a sign of how great and how slick you were with the basketball. You were so slick with that thing, and they're still showing highlights 25, 26 years later.
It's funny. I always, every time I see it, I got to smile. Yeah. Because I see, I follow NBA. I follow NBL on Instagram and stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it was good. It was actually good.
So let's play a game. Salaries in 1994. I'll start first. My salary at Newcastle was $65,000 plus an apartment and a car.
Mine was $40,000 plus an apartment in 1994. Mine was $40,000
in Melbourne.
In Melbourne. Mine
what
was
were you eating?
In a car, huh?
What were you eating, bro? You can't eat.
It's fun. I was, you know what? I didn't cook back then. I ate out a fair bit. Like me, and it's funny because me and Matt Shanahan, he was my guy. Like he's still my boy. We used to go eat. We used to go to pancake parlor every morning, like after training. So we trained in the morning. Or not necessarily training, but we used to lift weights or do individual. Yeah. We go straight to pancake parlor every day. So I would have ate pancake parlor so much. You know what I mean? And I didn't make a lot. I ain't gonna lie. But then after we won the championship, they doubled it.
Right.
So 95, 96, it moved up to 80. Or 95, it moved up to 80.
Yeah.
Right. But then what happened was we was about to fold. So we folded, and this guy came and took on. This is where I was in America. Right. So I was home. I had my kids at home.
Yes.
And Brett, I got a call from Brett saying, you know, the club, that this is what's going to happen. You know, you come back, the club's going to fold. You only going to make this amount, blah, 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 blah. And I said, hold up, Brett. And I said, listen, I got a problem here. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I got all my children. I got to bring my children back. And he was like,
that the year? Was that the year when you had to go through the family court and get?
I had to go through court. Yeah, that was it was 95 going to 96. So I called Brett. I said, yo, I got my kids, and I want to bring them back to Australia with me. And he was going, and he's like, he said, what do you need? And I said, just get me out there. He said, I'll call you back in about 30 minutes to an hour, right? Call me back. He said, I'll get tickets. You got to get all the passports and blah, 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 blah. And so I had already done all that. Once I went through courts, we went and got passports and everything. I was on a flight. I had me and my 5 children on a flight in February 12th.
Wow.
Not February 12th. It was actually it was January on a flight back to Australia. And then we was here. But again, salary-wise, I was only on, at that time, it would have been maybe 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was 96. I was making about 100. But again, I had car. I had
So yeah, that's good now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's so different now compared with the way they pay these guys now. I wish they were doing that back then.
For real.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
For real. Have you been watching the Jordan documentary?
I have. Yeah.
What do you think?
You know what is good but it is you know, Jordan. They're saying, like Jordan said, you know, I'm not gonna be like that after you watch this, but that was him, man. Like he, you know, I don't
find anything. I'm cool with it.
Exactly. I don't see nothing wrong. What are you saying that's wrong? You know what I mean? I don't think you're saying anything wrong. But just it's funny though, because you watch it and you almost want to go out and hoop. You know?
I've been aching after some of those games. I wanted to go play and embarrass somebody after.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to go wear somebody that's out.
I'll be talking. That's funny. I'll be talking because me and my son watching Darryl. Me and him be watching. I'm like, dude, you lucky. If you lucky as dog right now. I might have to take you up the street. We got a little park up the street. I might have to take you up there and give you the business right now, just for watching that, because it just hypes you up. And again, going back in those days when you've seen it. You know what I mean? You seen Mike, how he was, and then they just rehashing some of that stuff. But he's unreal, man. You know what I mean? I love LeBron, but Mike is good. Mike is the greatest, easy.
You know? No, I agree. After watching this, it puts shit in perspective. What about when my man Rodman went to Vegas the other day?
Oh, and somebody said Rodman is the first one to start. What do they call it? Load management.
Oh yeah.
They should call load management the Dennis Rodman rule. He went to Vegas for supposed to be 48 hours, came back like 5 days or something like that. But Mike said as soon as he came back to training, he was right back to normal. Like he missed 5 days, right back to normal though. You know what I mean?
Did you see when they had the huddle after that session though? And it looked like he had pajamas on.
Yeah, it does. He just kind of walked, like he was just walking in. You know what I mean? Like he was just getting there, and he just walked in, and just started listening.
Phil was like, Dennis, you need to get moving to get your muscle memorization going again. And Mike was like, hey, yo, you need to be lucky he's just here.
You're lucky he's here. I know. But I don't think they win without him. You know what I mean? They don't win those finals without Rodman. Man, he was a beast on the board. He knew his role, and that's what that's the difference now. Knowing your role, like it's interesting how everybody wants to score 1,000 points. When you give them a role, nobody wants to play their role. You know, that's the difference with I ain't gonna say generation, but the way the way the game is now. Know your role. Simple.
The other part that really kind of gives me a rush of emotion is when you see them having a good time in the locker room, or you see them out at the club partying after they won. All that shit, man. You can't get that nowhere else.
You can't. It's so much. It's so much fun, man. And again, winning championships, and then being able to share that. You know what I mean? And then you always got something. There's always somewhere to go. Like you always got, and everybody go like that. My 2006
catching a cab from Carousel.
Yeah, from on Carousel. I've been in Carousel like twice.
Really?
Only 2 times. No, not Carousel. Carousel, I've been there a little bit. But some of those, it's monsoons and all those. That heat, all those. It was a lot. It's a lot of clubs. It was a lot of clubs down there. I don't go out as much as I used to, but there used to be heaps of them. Heaps of them. But we always had somewhere after we win. We always had somewhere to go. And like, I never drank. I didn't drink till I got to Australia. Never drank till I got to Australia. No, never drank till I got to Australia. And then I was with the Giants. We was the booze-less Giants. Like the North Melbourne supposed to be booze-less Giants, but we wasn't. It wasn't booze-less back then. I'm gonna tell you. We after every game we was out. We was out every game.
And you guys, North Melbourne falls apart, and then we almost crossed paths because when North Melbourne went down, and then Gorgon was recruiting me as I was leaving Townsville, but then you kind of had to go along with the new crew, and I went to West Sydney.
And you went to West Sydney. Yeah, I didn't know that though, but thanks for telling me. Yeah.
So before it became official, like Gorgon was thinking that North Melbourne was going to stay alive. And He thought North Melbourne were going to stay alive and Magic were going to stay alive. Things were going to go per usual, and he was recruiting me for the Magic.
Yeah, and it ended up.
And then as it turned out, after I signed with West Sydney, it combined, and it would have just been all messed up.
It would have. I actually didn't know that, but it actually, he had to be like when he got the job, because Brett ended up going to Sydney, and he ended up getting the job. Did he go to Sydney or did he?
No. That was later.
Okay, so he ended up leaving, going to the States. So that's where I think he ended up with the Spurs. But then we had meetings, like Gorgon brought everybody in for meetings. Are you in? And I did my meeting. My meeting took about 30 seconds. So I walked in. He said, "Are you in?" I said, "Yep." And then he asked me, I don't know if you remember David Smith. He said, "You think David Smith could be a backup?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think he could be a backup." He said, "All right," and that was it. And then 4 years with the Titans, and never went. I was actually injured that because that's when I did my knee the year before.
Yeah.
But we had some good years. That's the one thing I regret, like not winning the championship with Gorge. That was because we, you again, you go there, you learn. Like you understood why they win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because
Gorgon's the guy that Gorgon gets you hyped. Gorgon,
he gets you
when he was recruiting me, man, he knew everything about my game, my mannerisms, my persona.
He knew everything. And then you go there and you understand why. He is, why he's what he is. Like, he's the greatest coach, or easily the greatest coach that's been here. You understand why? Because every day, like, you doing something every day. We used to lift every day. Like, we did weights every day. And then, just remember how those years you used to play against the Magic, and you always wonder why they were so much stronger than everybody else.
Strong.
That was the reason why. And then you get there, but this is your daily routine. You're in the weight room, you're doing individuals, you're training. But when I used to love our training used to be harder than our games. Yeah. That's what I used to love about it. Like, he worked us. You know what I mean? Like, every day we got.
And Gorge is funny as hell too. Gorge is a great storyteller.
We got all the stories, and we got some of the funniest stories too, man. He got some of the funniest stories. But it was like, again, playing for him and playing with those guys. It was good, man. We had opportunities, but we lost to some tough teams, like that Adelaide team with Darnell Mee and Kevin Brooks. And
Brett Catalini.
Those were some tough teams, because it's funny how the way Adelaide played. They didn't have plays. You know what I mean? Yeah. I played for Phil. They didn't run offense. Their offense was hoop, like let's hoop. We gonna play 1-on-1. So 3 pass. If I call a 3, that means 3 passes. On the 3rd pass, you gotta break your man down. And it's hard to defend that. So we scouting them, but it was hard to defend that. You know what I mean? And they ended up cracking us. And I think the second year, they beat the Magic that first year, and then they end up beating us that next year.
So big news today with Cotton. He's getting up out of here.
Yeah, interesting. But I think what he said, you got to do what's best for him and his family, which is understanding. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the NBL. Like, if there's no imports, right? If they're not going to be letting imports, there's going to be a lot of jobs. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of jobs. So that's what I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to get this guy ready just in case.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. So, but yeah, he's tough, man. Like he's tough.
Yeah.
He is tough.
Which guards do you like to watch nowadays, Darryl?
Him, Jerome Randall's. I love Jerome. I just love how he plays. Like I'm a big
Yeah.
on, shaking and baking and things like that. So him, Casper's good. Who else? The young fellas that came out, like LaMelo. I love his game. You know what I mean? I think he's got to fix his jumper, but I think that they may help that in the NBA. RJ Hampton was solid. The kid from New Zealand, Scotty Hobson, was good. I actually like the other guy, Sec Henry was tough too, man. Like he wasn't bad, man.
I think if they stick with him one more year, I don't know what the plans were, but he was kind of strong and
he was good, man. Solid defensively. You know what I mean? I actually, I liked him. But it's the main one. What's the name too? Machado. Machado's legit. Like I like I like a guy that's going to distribute. You know what I mean? He was tough. I think he led the league in assists with about 8 or 9 a game. He was tough. But it's the same. It's the guys that's been here. So Cotton's been here. Randall's been here. Ware's been here. Like I said, Machado's came in and made a name for himself. And I don't want to miss too many of them because I watch most.
What about Lamar?
Lamar Patterson's tough. Yeah, he's just I think he's a matchup nightmare because you can't put nobody big on him because you can break him down, and you put somebody small on him, you just take him in the post. So he was different. You know what I mean? Like he was different, but he was good, man. You know what I mean? And some of the big imports like Eric Griffin, athlete.
Yeah.
Who else? It's hard to pick them all out. Because especially again, because I'm a guard, I like to watch the guards. But it's the league is tough. The league is good. The league is rising. You know what I mean? I think it's getting up there. But now this Corona ain't helping matters. So
let's talk about 2 Australian guards, Shane Hill and Andrew Gaze.
Shane
who put at the peak of their career when you had to guard both of them, I had to guard both of them. Who put more fear in you?
Probably Andrew. Only because
why?
I didn't have to. I guarded Andrew a fair bit. It's I played in the shuffle, man, and to have to defend him in the shuffle is
perfect
because your back door here. You know what I mean? A jump shot here. They set screens for him. He was probably more. Plus his size, like he's 6'7".
I know.
You know what I mean? So he was a lot harder to guard. But like I said, you have to defend him. And the same thing again, just have to defend him in that shuffle. It was hard because you don't know when the back door's coming. But then I played in it, right? And I played in it, and I understand where all the where all the X's or where all the shots come from, how to get wide open shots, how to get, back doors and all that stuff. You understand why it works. But Shane, my first year, was it first year? I think it was 94. We zoned him. Shane gave us like 45. You know what I mean? Because he was shooting there. He was shooting from remember the logos on the floor, the decals?
Yeah.
He was shooting from there. So we're in a 2-3 zone and he's shooting from there. We ain't had nothing for him. And I think as Shane got older, maybe not older, or as later on in his career, I think after he went to the NBA, he came back. I think he was a little bit more because he was always a shooter, right? I can go back. I don't think Shane would never drive to the rim. Like he was jump shot. But when he came back from the NBA, he would put that ball on the floor. He would get in the paint and he would getting people shots. So that made him even a lot more tougher to guard.
Better on the pick and roll.
But better in the pick and rolls and things like that. So, but they were both hard
They used to run that shakes in Sydney. Remember they run that shakes?
Oh my goodness, it was tough to defend too because one screen come, then you got another screen come. How you defend it? It was hard to defend. And back then, people ain't scouting the way they do now. You know what I mean? Like we scouted it. I thought we did a good job scouting it, but he was still coming off that thing, letting it go.
And the other thing that was hard back in those days was there was less switching because there you had legitimate big guys. Like two
Exactly.
bigs sitting there were probably Ben Melmoth and Matty Nielsen.
You had and one is popping, one is rolling, and that's what I mean. How you did you show and recover, somebody gonna be rolling. You got Ben Melmoth, one of those guys diving on the rim. It was hard. It was actually really hard to defend. That was hard to defend. And if he starts flowing, that's both of them. If they hitting their threes, it's tough. It's the same for you. Like you get the flowing, you get the rolling. You're always hard to defend, man. Like sometimes sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
Yes, that's the worst feeling.
It's nothing you can do when you start feeling it. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling when you have to guard somebody that's feeling it. You know what I mean? So it was tough.
When you look at international basketball, though, back to Andrew, I'm not sure there's been, like, you got Jordan in the shuffle, and I'm not bullshitting. That's a perfect fit. Andrew and Jordan in the triangle, sorry.
Triangle,
I think
yeah.
Andrew in the shuffle may have been even a better fit.
It is a better fit for him. Yeah, like I said, and he used. It's funny because I actually played with him for 2 years. So I played with him and Coach for 2 years. And it's funny, they used to be on the same team and be fighting. You know what I mean? They were the same team and they going at each other. But we always competed. But he knew where to get every basket. Like he knew how to get a basket out of the shot. Yeah. And that's one thing I used to love because we used to defend it when I was with the Titans, right? When I was with Gorge, we used to defend it 2 weeks before we played them. So we used to scout it. So we'll play a team before a week, like on this Saturday, but we played the Tigers the following Saturday. We was going over the shuffle the week before because we wanted to shut it down that bad, and we still struggled with it. You know what I mean? But he knew how to get like where every basket from. The one thing I did love about it because I ran it with Al Westover. We won two championships running. You know, Anstey, Tucker, Dave Thomas. We had a crew those years. But the one thing I loved about it is you couldn't take nothing away. So for everything you take away, there was always, you know what I mean? That's with Lindsay. Yeah. And then when Al came in, Al added extra stuff to it.
He did.
So it was even harder to defend.
I thought Al was very underrated as a coach, man.
Oh, and it's funny though because I don't know how you go. You know how you go to 4 grand finals straight. You go to 4 grand finals in a row. You win 2 out of 4. And he doesn't even get looked at. I'm like, I'm interested to know what's going on with that one because he should easily be a head coach in this league.
What do you think your best season was,
Darryl? Probably my 94 season.
94?
Yeah, because that was the reason. My 94 season is the reason why I'm probably still here, man. You know what I mean? So numbers wise, I think I was like 19, 10, 5 and 5 steals a game, something like that.
Yeah.
So, or 4.5 steals a game. So that would easily be my best year. Yeah. That's sitting at the top of that zone.
You'd have been a fantasy owner's delight. 4.5 steals.
4.5 steals a game. Yeah. For about 3 years, I 4.5, 4, and then every year it kind of dropped because the league was getting better. People scouting different, but every year it dropped. So it's probably my first year.
Wow.
Yeah, my most probably refreshing was my first year with my third year with the Tigers would be because that's the one because I remember I went to Victoria Giants.
Yes.
For a year, and we actually struggled. We had a struggling year, and then they got rid of me, and they told me I wasn't going to be playing. Like they said, we gonna release you because we're gonna try to build a championship team in the next 3 to 5 years. And I go, okay, no problem. And I end up calling Cope because I talked to Cope a fair bit, and I'm like, yo, I just got released, and he was like, what? He couldn't believe it. And he said, yo, I'll call you back in about 10 minutes. He called Seamus, repeat.
Yep.
Seamus called me, come to the Tigers, and that's how I ended up with Melbourne. I ended up playing with Drewy and Cope, Spracky. Walzer wasn't there. Stephen Hall. We had a nice little crew, and I made 6th man of the year that year. But then that next year, So I did play with them for 2 years, and then they retired. Bradkey left, or Bradkey and Colt went to Brisbane. Drew left, and Lindsay retired. And then Al, there's an interesting story. When Al got the head coaching job, I was actually coaching. So I was coaching. Me and Wazza used to coach. Giddy, me and Wazza used to coach a Big V team.
I see Wazza logged on too. What up, Wazza?
Yeah, I seen that. So we used to coach the Big V team, and I got a call from Brendan Joyce. Brendan Joyce was at Wollongong.
That's right.
Wollongong at the time. I got a call from him, and he goes, you want to come to Wollongong? I'm gonna bring you up. So this was a Thursday night, right? This was a Thursday night. We had just finished training. I get a call from Al, about the Tigers, because I hadn't signed nothing. I wasn't signed to nothing. And he goes, let's talk about the Tigers. I'm gonna talk about the China trip and blah 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 blah. And I said, Al, I'm going to Wollongong tomorrow to sign his contract. He was like he was almost quiet, like it was quiet on the phone. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, I've been talking to Wollongong. I haven't talked to you guys. I didn't know what was going on.
What year
was
that?
I mean? And he, no, we want you back. This would have been
was that 2006? Was that 2006?
This was 2006. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
2006. And he goes, yeah, we want you back. We talk about going to China, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go up there in the morning. And I get up there. I get to Wollongong, and I meet Brendan, picks me up from the airport. We talking, and then I just came out. I said, dude, I'm not going to sign here, man. I'm going back. I'm going to go back to the Tigers. And he just he was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. We still did the run around. He showed me everything and things like that. But I ended up signing with the Tigers, and they signed me. And then our first game, and I found out who was coming. This one, who's coming back? He said Anstey's coming back. I said, you sure Anstey's coming back? And he said, yeah, I'm positive. So we had Anstey, me, Dave Thomas, Rashard Tucker, because Tuck came mid the last year. He was tough. Neil Mottram, Stephen Hall, Darryl Coletto. Who else was on that team? We had a night. I can't remember most of them. We had a solid group. And we in the first game of the season, we played Wollongong, and we beat them by 40. And we just went from there. Went from there. End up winning the championship. But then I was saying, they got rid of me, said they're going to win the championship in their third and fifth year. I ended up winning the championship in my third and fifth year.
And the 2008 champion. And you went 3 straight years, right? You lost to Brisbane in 2007.
We went 3 straight years. Oh, we went 4 straight years. Because when I retired in 2008, I was on the coaching staff. I was third assistant on that team, and we lost. That's the year we lost to the Dragons. But we won the 2 years. We won 2. So we beat Sydney. Then we lost to Brisbane. Yeah, that was a solid. It was solid, and then we beat Sydney again.
Beat Sydney again. I was at the final game in Sydney.
It was unreal, man. It was crazy though, because we was up 2 games. Cause they beat us game 1.
Yeah.
We ended up getting them at home game 2. Then we went there and beat them game 3. Sean Lampley hit that 3.
Yep.
With about 5 seconds to go. We ended up beating them up there game 3. Then we went home game 4. We got up like 25 in that game. We thought it was over. They came back and beat us. And you can see Gorgia running around the stadium. And then we got home, and Anstey texted everybody. He said, "Listen, we going to Sydney." He said, "If you ain't going up there to win, don't come. We're going to Sydney. We're going to Sydney, and we're going to get this game." And then game 5. Again, it's funny, and I always use this. I'm a body language guy, right? So, when I coach, I'm big on body language and what I see. And I'm watching. So at halftime, I'm looking, and I go, and I'm just watching them, and they all like this. They was cooked. And I went a lot. I said, "Yo, I said we got them. They gone.
Yeah.
They gone." Because what they was doing, they always made a run. They always made a run at the right time, and then we couldn't come back. But this time they made they run too early, and then we just kept going, end up getting them, and just winning it over there. It was good. It was unreal, man. There's about 10,000 people in that stadium. So about 10,000.
It was a nice atmosphere there. And,
it was good.
And probably I see Anstey just joined, and Anstey's probably a guy that kind of gets lost in the shuffle in terms of great players of all time, but way ahead of his time in terms of his talent and in the way he played the game. And for some reason, you know, I don't know why, but just don't you think gets kind of lost and people don't
I think he
about
does, man. Like he easily, like again, I look at the centers, and you know, you got to throw Brackey up there, but he's up there. Like he's got to be a top, you know, top two. Like I'm looking at he's a top two center in the league. Again, like I said, always because of what Brackey done, but Anstey, man, was unreal, and that's what I mean. When I found out he was coming back, because I played with Anstey. I played with the big fella at the Titans. Yeah. And me and him had a pretty good rapport together. You know what I mean? And I played with him there. And when I found out he was coming back, to play with the Tigers, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. And then, you know, he went to Russia, he did his thing over there. But for the way the game is played now, he was doing that back then. You know what I mean? Step out, shoot the 3-ball, can post you up, was a great defender.
And could put the ball on the floor.
Put the ball on the floor, go by you. Set, you know, hit screen. He would hit people. Like, you see that what he did with Rodman. That was him. Like, he was doing that in training, everything. But he definitely gets lost. But you know what I mean? People need to see exactly what he's done for the league here. Like he's different, man.
I'll give you a second to think. I've just got to go 2 feet away and grab something. My next guest is Ricky. You and I got 5 minutes left. Give me a little scouting report on Ricky Grace, or give the viewers a scouting report on Ricky Grace.
Okay, I could try.
Go ahead.
Left-handed. Yeah, great shooter. And it's funny though, because people just say, you know, try to get Ricky to go right, and he's still going left, and then Ricky he going lefter. He's going left. He going left. He's a great distributor. Can run your team. Good defender. He did it all, man. Like Ricky was good. He was another reason why I knew point guards was here. He's the reason why I came here. You know what I mean? But you know.
So calm, so even.
Yeah. Poker face. Can't get him mad. Can't get him upset. He just plays. And then in the game over, you got 27 and 18 or 27 and 10. You know what I mean? And hitting the 3-ball, you know, dimes here and there. But he was good. He was good, man. Like,
what do you miss? What do you miss the most about being out of the game?
I guess just playing. You know what I mean? Just playing. I guess camaraderie, the competition is always good. Like I said, you know, every week you're playing against somebody that was good. You know what I mean? And you're always up for that. You always wanted to play. You know, you couldn't wait. You know what I mean? When we played, I couldn't wait to play against you. I couldn't wait to play against Ray. I couldn't wait to play against, you know, LaFleur and Hayes and those guys. I wanted to play, man. Like you wanted to hoop. You know what I mean? And then you get new imports every year. You meet new guys every year. You know, you're building relationships with all these new guys and stuff like that. But you know, right now, again, I just live through my son, you know, because he plays. Seriously, he plays, and you know, I do all my stuff like with the little ones. I do development with kids and try to live through them and help them get to the next level. And that's pretty much it.
And what's your go-to program at the moment? Are you Netflix or are you a free to air dude? Or you got a VPN? You're watching some bootleg stuff from New York.
No, I got ESPN here, so I'm First Take. I don't miss First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. I make sure I get that. I make sure I watch that every day. But I'm a movie guy, and any kind of hoops come on, I watch. So any kind of basketball come on. So EuroLeague, you know, I got EuroLeagues on the IQ. You know what I mean? They showing all these old college games. I watch those. I'm always because again, I still want to coach. Like I still want to keep in the coaching side of it. So I'm always looking for stuff. Like I'm always looking for new stuff. You know what I mean? And just, you know, what are they doing now? Like I stay up on all how the game is being played now, and you know, handoff, things like that, and always looking for stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I'm always on Instagram. I watch a lot of the trainers. I'm Phil Handy. You know, Phil, my guy. I listen when you have Phil on. You know, I watch what he does and a lot of stuff he does. And
I got Tim Martin on Saturday.
Who's that?
You know Tim Martin?
I know that name.
Yeah, check him out. He's good too. He's on the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
Saturday.
yeah. I did see that. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Hey, who's your NFL team?
I'm same as yours.
I know, they're gone now. My boy got fired. They're gone.
Oh, so you ain't a Cowboys fan no more?
No, fuck the Cowboys.
I'm still Cowboys, man. I've been Cowboys since Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett. I go back that far.
Jason, my buddy, is going to the Giants.
Hey, Jason Garrett. Is that
Yeah.
your boy? Is
Yeah.
He? Okay. Yeah. He's offensive coordinator at the Giants.
So the Giants are now my team.
The New York Giants. Giants gonna be garbage. They're gonna be garbage.
Yo, did you see that? Did you see that picture of Saquon's thighs?
Oh, that way can't bring him down, man. He's ridiculous. Dude.
Good
He's ridiculous.
God.
You can't bring him down. But he's got to get more than that though. He's got to get more than that. And saying that, I actually go for the Giants when they're doing really well because I'm from New York. Yeah. So I don't go for the Jets. I always go for the Giants.
And the dude, the quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
His brother plays ball at Davidson.
Really? Oh, nice.
So I got some links to the Giants now.
So you got some link. There you go. Daddy Dimes. They was booing him at the draft last year. They were killing him. And then he ended up playing pretty well, man. He was solid.
You know, we'll see what happens.
What happens.
But what about NBA?
Spurs. I'm a George Gervin guy. Always. I go back to the George Gervin, Larry Keenan days. Yeah, the Iceman. That was always my guy. George the Iceman Gervin. And I've stuck with him all this time. You know, Tim Duncan now, and Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. So I'm a San Antonio guy. And it's actually that game 5 against Miami is coming on. Yeah. So I actually got it taped, so I'm gonna watch that a little bit later on. So,
well, man, it's good seeing you again. It's been a long time. I'm glad you
always.
Come on. Once everything gets back to normal, I'm gonna be doing this probably only once a week because I'll be too busy with my other stuff. But I definitely want to get you on the regular. We can talk some games and what's going on in the NBL and everything. I pray that everything comes back.
Yeah, it comes back. Yeah, for sure. We can do that. Nice talking to you, D. Okay. Good to see you, man.
All right, D, man.
I'm actually gonna stay on and listen to Ricky.
Okay, I got Ricky.
All right, yeah. Yep, I'll talk to you later.